welcome to Friday Night Football from the MCG. Should be a terrific match tonight. North Melbourne and Melbourne, a most important game. Some changes to North Melbourne. Jared Healy will give us those in just a moment. But as we look at the ladder, we see that North Melbourne has not suffered for only winning 3 of their last 8 games. In that time, they've only dropped 1 place. Lose tonight, they go down to 8th place. Melbourne must win, really, to have a realistic chance of playing in the finals. Jared Healy, this is a big game and some pressure on Melbourne tonight.
Well, there has been a fair bit of talk about Melbourne's performance last week against Collingwood. A lot of disappointment. But Terry Wallace, seconds coach of Footscray, came out today and said that Melbourne can beat any side in the competition, but they are physically and mentally weak. Now, Melbourne play Footscray next week, so the next couple of weeks for Melbourne will be interesting to follow.
There are 5 changes to North Melbourne. German and McAdam, the big ones, coming in tonight with Rock and Mann out.
Yes, that's a big loss. Definitely both of those players, particularly Peter Mann, whose height will probably be certainly missed with Melbourne having such a tall forward line. But I think Wayne Schwarz is perhaps the key to this game. He'll probably get a shadow, perhaps Kevin Dyson. Michael Martin will have the job on Garry Lyon. Trent Nichols has been a good player, and I think Darren Cowell will pick him up.
Hopgood and Irving playing their first games for the season, and Glenn Lovett back as well.
Well, better now than never, of course. Bruce Tingay having a wonderful year. He's up in the best and fairest counting for sure for Melbourne, as is David Schwarz, who was most disappointing last week. He will need to have a big game. Paul Primke doing quite nicely this year for his first season. Will get Longmire, I would think, and David Neitz and Carey will probably be the matchup of the night.
About 30,000 at least here, the start of a big weekend at the MCG. Back with the opening bounce. North and Melbourne after this. Start of the match, Friday night footy at the MCG. North Melbourne going to the right. Both teams desperate for a win. Big running jump by Irving. Glenn Lovett gets a quick kick out of the centre. Good chop off there by Smith, originally to Schwarz, who was mentioned by Jared in the preview as being the key to North Melbourne's chances tonight. Hip and shoulder by Viney on a Sheko was very good. Clarkson flattened after he kicks it and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Well, he was sandwiched.
Well, he certainly was. David Schwarz hit him with everything. And I know Melbourne will have known the words that Terry Wallace did speak, and perhaps they've got a point to prove here.
Tingay at centre wing, Glenn Lovett won the best and fairest a couple of years ago. Had a shocking run with injuries this year to centre half forward. At the back was Blakey. Michael Martin. Good shepherding by Ross Smith. Martin goes out wide. There's an atmosphere about this game very early. Carey misses it. Neitz' left-hand handball okay. Dyson twists and turns, gives it back brilliantly. Irving gets a second touch. Away goes Neitz to centre half forward. Sheko to cut it off. And takes the mark, concedes a bit of ground, goes to Laidley.
Gee, I don't want to harp on it, but the number of times that good players kick the ball straight to the opposition, that was a terrible performance by Neitz. Schwarz kicks towards centre wing, punched away by Stephen Phoebe, 25 years of age today, along with his brother Matthew, who can't take his place in this Melbourne side. It's taken away for Melbourne by Stephen Phoebe once again, towards half forward. Steins tries to make a little bit of a path for Glenn Lovett, succeeds. Glenn Lovett's left foot kick gets good distance. Up inside, well inside 50 metres, and it'll be left to trundle over by Glenn Archer for a boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket for Melbourne. Peter German, David King, and young Capuano on the bench there for North Melbourne as the boundary throw-in takes place deep in Melbourne's forward pocket. The ball comes to the rear. It's taken there by Clarkson. He's tackled a little high. No, the umpire decides that the player tackled had no chance to get rid of it, so he will bounce it well within scoring distance for the Demons.
And as you see there in replay, perhaps there should have been a free kick paid. Another couple of feisty customers on each other. Anthony Stevens on Todd Viney.
Schwarz. Obst looking for a free kick. He gets it. We talk of birthdays, Robbo. Obst turned 30 today, so he's 30. And the 2 Phoebes at 25, but they'd rather celebrate a win than all of that. Obst goes to Steins. Good, not Steins, Pike, I should say. Good grab, wasn't it? Terrific mark.
Actually, I couldn't understand last week, apparently they messed around a lot with the football. They've got Pike, Schwarz and Lyon. Wouldn't you think that they'd get the ball into the forward line, give these boys a chance?
Can kick a goal, Pike. Twice this year he's kicked 4. That's not bad, that's through. Pretty good start, Jared, for the D's.
The excellent start. They're pumped. They're primed for a big performance. And this was a good lead, a good kick, and good conversion of the mark. I love to see it when players take it out in front, in the hands, one grab. And he was under a fair bit of pressure from Craig Scholl there, who's a pretty quality opponent. He actually kicked 4 goals in the first half against Brisbane last week, 2 weeks ago.
Bounce back in the centre. The ball spills now for Obst, an important player if Melbourne are to do well tonight. The kick to centre-half forward. Chance there for Pike. Slippery little hand pass for Tingay. And Tingay goes for goal. Melbourne hit the post through Stephen Tingay.
Just important now for North Melbourne just to hold on to steady. The intensity of Melbourne's thrust won't continue as we see that there is a free kick coming back to Tingay. Let's have a look how it happened. Just a little bit late, perhaps a little bit high. Early game nerves, and I heard Dennis Pagan during the week say that they got put off last week by coming out a little bit too angrily.
Tingay goes for goal. His second chance. He's kicked it. It's a goal. So Tingay kicks his first goal. But Pike has kicked a goal, and the Demons lead 2 goals. North Melbourne yet to score.
And here's another look at the free kick. The hands came from Pike. But once again, North Melbourne perhaps just hot heads, not controlling their body. Wasn't much in it, Rob, I agree with you. But certainly the goal was a good kick.
Pike and Tingay have got the goals for the Demons. They lead by 2 in the early stages. White goes off the ground. Dyson besieged. A couple of tackles on him. Obst comes in.
And Dean Irving making his presence felt in the middle. He got clearly above Alex Ishenko, who has a big task tonight, of course, with the absence of Corey McKernan.
Obst has given away a free kick there. I think he was lucky he didn't give one away a little earlier than that.
Schwarz after Stevens, smothered. Glenn Lovett wrote it beautifully to Pike, to Dyson. Signs good for Melbourne, chips away. Gets to Andy Lovell at about 70 metres. Steins provides a lead. Lovell goes to the pocket, Lyon the target. Archer with him, the captain takes a mark. Is that 50?
Well, it wasn't necessary. Tell you what, he breathed a sigh of relief, Glenn Archer, I would think.
He's good enough to kick this line.
Well, here we see it. Glenn Archer, of course, has been reported this season. And that was certainly a late push. Perhaps just a little bit uncontrolled at the moment, North Melbourne.
Take a super kick.
Super play.
It's a magnificent kick. He is a star, this guy. He's got a special quality, G. Lyon. 53, look at him with Schwarz, letting him have one. Well, talk about pumped. Gerard.
It's got you in the mood, Bruce.
Yes, we're being well and truly led by you at the moment, Macca, but that is a quality goal. Garry Lyon, of course, kicked an absolute pearler up in Brisbane 2 weeks ago.
So the bounce back in the centre, and Melbourne have had the success so far at the centre bounces. The Demons, 2 centre breaks, and North Melbourne yet to take it away. Terrific bounce, straight up in the air. Irving gets his hand onto it. It's taken away by Dyson. Dyson's kick is good. Straight to the front of the goals. Archer interfered with by his opponent there, and he will take the free kick. So Archer is between fullback and centre halfback, being asked to play on now. He kicks to the members' wing. Contest. Brilliantly rowed by Blakey. Stayed on the ground. Away to Clarkson. Clarkson's kick to the centre half forward position. At the back, McAdam. Mercurial. McAdam goes for goal and misses. First score to North Melbourne. Coming about 8 minutes into the term. Melbourne have kicked 3 goals. North just that one behind. Graham Yates for the Demons.
A quick change from North Melbourne. Blakey, who started on Pike, has now been shifted over onto Tingay. Of course, Pike is being picked up by by Scholl, as we saw when he kicked that opening goal.
Yates taking his time, keeps it pretty low, goes to the centre half-back region, neats Glenn Lovett, good take to Tingay to Brent Lovett, a sweeping handball of beauty to Andy Lovell, measures the pass to Lyon, goes up, couldn't quite, Schwartz's handball good, Lyon's left foot across the face, bouncing ball, running out, still in, Smith very happy to see it go over. The bench for the D's, young Malloy. His father was a great player at Norwood many years ago. Won a Tassie medal. It's going to get down to 3, they say. At 9 degrees at the moment. That is the big dip set. Perfect conditions for the start of it. Dyson goes for it. Has his shorts that he pulled off. Steins running back fairly, squeezes it cleverly in the end. Out of play. He was under a cloud this week too, Ian Fairley. So North Melbourne making 5 changes, 2 of them dropping out. It was Melbourne's first defeat of the season when they were beaten by North Melbourne at this ground earlier in the year. High ball by Pike, not coming back enough. And the D's miss for the first time tonight. Pike with 1-1 and 3-1 to a point. Neil Baum, what an up and down season. A roller coaster season for that Melbourne coach, and I guess for many of the coaches in this competition.
Well, it'd be a pretty difficult assignment to keep a team up throughout the year, and the Demons look as though they're on a bit of a roll at the right end of the season. The kick in finds Fairley unattended 50 metres from the Melbourne goal. He gets it to Stevens. Stevens runs through the centre of the ground. Long kick to centre half forward. Contest back there. Neats gives away the free kick. Advantages with North Melbourne. Ramiro should kick a goal for North. Oh dear, he may have missed, has he? No, he's kicked it. So Ramiro gets North Melbourne's first goal, much to the delight of their fans and their coaching staff, Rodney Eade and Dennis Pagan. And with 13 and a half minutes left, North trail, they're 1-1, Melbourne are 3-1.
Yeah, a quick perception by Anthony Stevens to make ground with that bounce through the middle. But a little bit technical, that free kick that was paid to Garry.
1-1, 3-1. That's the Friday night scoreboard of the MCG. Oshenko goes with Irving, who's been good early, playing his first game for the D's. Played in a losing grand final in 91 for West Coast. Carey's handball. Longmire, first touch to Allison. Sweeps it very well to Ramiro. Jose back to Allison at full stretch. Could he kick a goal? Across the face, a behind. Take a deep breath, Brett. He ran hard, didn't he, for that? 1-2-3-1. They've steadied up North after a fantastic start by Melbourne when they kicked 3 goals. Now Laidley and Obst were at it, but it's settled down a bit. The emergency umpires run out to them. Handball by Ramiro. Nichols at 50. Pretty good this. A beauty. Well, it's had a little bit of everything this game so far. The vibes are just right, aren't they, for a big special night, 2-2 to 3-1.
I mentioned before the start of the game that Trent Nichols had a very good season for North Melbourne, and this is one of the reasons why. He's given them some real bite up forward. The scribes tell us that perhaps he only got to North Melbourne because they missed out on Craig Lambert in the draft, but they wouldn't be disappointed with his performance today.
So the umpire gets play underway. Anthony Stevens, a hack out of mid-air. Taken by Brett Lovett. Hand pass. Glenn Lovett in trouble, but he's able to get it to Viney. Viney's handball, Yates. Yates has come down the ground. Good kick by that player. Finds Obst. Under a little bit of pressure. Well controlled by Yates. Obst goes into the pocket. Kicks it well out in front. The captain's marked it again. And Glenn Archer, you've got a mighty assignment this evening. Oh, look where he's going to put Lyon.
Well, in the right position too, Robbo. But that was an outstanding kick to position, allowing Garry Lyon to just run back into the space and take a simple mark.
Well, Garry Lyon kicked a magnificent goal earlier from the other side. He goes for this kick, and he's missed to the near side. So he's kicked 1-1, the captain. Other goals for Melbourne, Tingay and Mark Pike, and for North Melbourne, Ramiro and Trent Nichols. Melbourne lead by 6 points.
Smith goes short. Had a couple there. Laidley took it. Called Schwarz out. Now Schwarz runs for it and gets it. Back with Laidley. Schwarz had a fantastic last quarter in Perth last week. Ignited that revival. Now Schwarz away to centre wing. Neats was at the back. Out of play. Carey subdued last week. Djakovic turned him inside out. Gee, North are short, aren't they, on the sportsbook odds? Into 5-2 on, and Melbourne 13-8. Shouldn't be that much disparity, you would think. North having won just one more game for the season. Irving rode it pretty well, actually, to Pike, to Dyson, who also shrugged off Gleeson. In the pocket, Lyon was there with Archer. Out of play.
Yeah, Schwarz, who started on the wing, appears to be taking a more central role at the moment. He and Dyson appear to be playing wide of each other.
Steins to go with Fairley. Steins works it back. Free kick against him. Gee, didn't look a lot in it, did it? But
no arguing from Jimmy.
Fairley goes to half-back.
Kicks it out in the direction of Ischenko. Punched away there by Irving. Well written by Obst. Gets it to Stephen Phoebe. Phoebe's kick is very, very average. It's out on the full. The free kick to be taken for North Melbourne by Ian Fairley. Fairley in the left back pocket for the Kangaroos. Beautiful night for football. A high kick by Fairley out towards half-back region. Ischenko punched away by Irving. Gathered by Dyson. He's had a few touches. The kick falls into the hands there of Ross Smith. Ross Smith's kick goes back to the wing. No mark taken there by Ramiro, but it's a free kick. And interfered with. Free kicks 5 to North Melbourne, 1 to Melbourne. The kick towards half-forward looks for Carey. Neats is good. Rebounds back to Ischenko. Ischenko's kick in towards half-forward. In front was White. Ball spills. Blakey leaves it. In goes Yates. And it's a no-win situation for either player there, so the umpire will bounce at centre-half forward for North Melbourne.
Sean White's a very versatile player. He can play on a tall fellow like he is at the moment in Longmire, but could also pick up a more ground-covering player like a McAdam or a Nichols.
Sweeps out the handball, White to Dyson. Schwarz runs him down. Nichols sells one. Gets a quick kick away, centering. Longmire couldn't quite. Stevens punched it forward. McAdam looks for a free kick, gets it.
Well, it was there and he had to be given it. It was a little bit soft, but you can't grab them, particularly when the umpire's 5 metres away.
Kicked 68 goals last year. This
Certainly,
young McAdam.
He certainly added a little bit.
Added a lot, and he's 68 in 17 last year. He went off at the end of last year. This year, just 14 goals in 13. It's been a long time since he's kicked a bag. He's missed one so far tonight. Was deadly last year. Rarely missed from this position. And he's got it. 1-1 to McAdam. Scores a level at the MCG. After Melbourne had led by 3 goals early. All square at the G.
Steins in the middle.
3-2 apiece. Went for the ruck then. Schwarz again. North on a roll. Neats in front of Carey. Crocker, good tackle that time. Ramiro tried to come through. Carey over the top with some strength. Brought to ground. Pretty good tackle, actually. Held up. Centre half forward for North.
Carey with his left shoulder very heavily strapped.
Now, was there a free kick in this one?
Well, if it was, it would be against the North Melbourne skipper.
Excellent decision from the umpire. The ball fell out by courtesy of the strength of the tackle. That's play on in our game.
Punched away by Allison. Taken by Blakey. Good kick to the front of the square. Carey off the ground. I think he's kicked a goal.
I'll tell you what, Robbo, if that was a goal, I'll go here. That was a point. That missed by a mile. Now, if we... Dipper,
yes, mate. Now, Bruce, that was a point.
But it was a long way from
I was right behind that. That was definitely a point.
Have a look at this. Was not even close.
Well, it begs the question once again of whether we need 4 goal umpires. They say that North Melbourne were robbed of a goal, and it was a point, Bruce, robbed of a goal against Geelong when they got beaten by a point.
Well, put that in your back of your mind and maybe forget about it for the moment, but Carey's point was given a goal, 4-2 to 3-2.
Well, it's on the scoreboard for North Melbourne. Pike overruns it. Archer's got it. Nearly tackled by Lyon, able to get the hand pass. Scholl's gone.
That's a great tackle.
No free kick. Away goes Stevens for North Melbourne. No nonsense football by the Kangaroos. The ball goes to the back of Stephen Phoebe. It's tidied up by Obst. Back to Stephen Phoebe. He's going to get caught, but he gets his right foot to it. In short, the mark taken by Viney. Viney at right half forward. 2 kicks from goal for the Demons. Todd Viney goes in short. Looks for Lyon. Tingay got back. Away goes Pike. Throws his left foot at it. Nearly gathered by Irving. Attempted little kick off the ground there by Ross Smith. Rolls over for a rush behind to Melbourne. So North Melbourne, maybe a little fortunate. They lead by 5 points, 4-2 to 3-3.
Smith yet to miss a game. He's playing his 20th for the season. One of a number of North Melbourne players who have fronted up in all of them. Viney. Still with Viney. To the goal square. Oh, going very early. Mark anyway to Lovell. Archer took off early, and Lovell stood his ground and took a very good mark.
The girls very happy there with the high fives in the crowd.
Looked good, didn't it?
Glenn Malloy coming onto the ground. First run. Dean Irving off the ground. He'd be happy with his start.
This to put Melbourne in front. He's got it. The D's are back in front. 4-3 to 4-2.
Didn't think it was his best effort, Glenn Archer, but that's a good punch there from Sean White, who's displaying the gloves. Todd Viney roped it well and bombed it in. Let's just have a look at this performance from Archer. Perhaps he was going for mark of the year. The punch was what was required, Robert.
Jimmy Steins to do the ruck work. Skillfully got it to Viney, but taken away for North Melbourne. Up towards half forward. Knocked away from Garry. Tackled by Yates was very effective. Garry, Tingay. Sean White, terrific. Tingay, tackled there by McAdam. Got his kick away out on the full. Free kick to Blakey. He can run to the 50-metre line and kick to the front of the square. Contest. Up high, Crocker. Great mark. 4th in line. And he's marked about 20 metres out, straight in front. North Melbourne to make a change. Coming on for North Melbourne is young Matthew Capuano, and the player he is replacing, Brett Allison. But the football with Darren Crocker. He kicks from 20 metres, and he makes no mistake. So a terrific opening to a game that has promised plenty. North Melbourne lead by 5 points.
He's only kicked 6 goals for the season now, but this, as you said, Robbo, has been one of the best openings we've seen in Friday night football. We've seen some pretty good games, and this one is displaying all the aspects that would set it up for a real monster. McAdams moved out to the half-forward flanks, now being picked up by Darren Cowell.
5-2 to 4-3. North back in front. In an outstanding opening, as you said, Gerard. Schwarz trying to break through, couldn't do it. McAdam away, has to bring him back. The bench, Allison there. Melbourne with the advantage out of the centre. Irving gave them a fly early. Steins missed that time by Viney. Dyson got through a couple, couldn't quite get all the way. Cow threw it away. Schwarz's kick smothered, in fact, by Schenko, besieged by 3. Clarkson brought to ground by Tingay. They concede some ground here, Melbourne, unfortunately for them. Cow over the top of it. Ball hard to win. It looked like the Bledisloe Cup for a moment. The All Blacks and the Wallabies as it was thrown around there. Barmy not as impressed as some of the people were in Sydney on Wednesday night. Nichols picks himself up. Steins, Viney trying to crash through. Schwarz's tackle was terrific. Obst over the top. And again, the umpire's going to take it. So North Melbourne at 5-2 to kick 5 of the last 6 goals after the Demons started with 3 in a hurry. Yates very close to the umpire. Now gets away to let him bounce it.
Pike's at full back on Capuano.
Hilton going down the ground for the moment. Lovell. Yates quickly onto the boot. Not a good kick. Martin way out in front of Schwarz.
Look at that, just a bomb. You've got to do better than that.
Good hands, Obst. Away to Neitz. Neitz goes straight down the ground. Looks for Schwarz. Out goes Fairley. Fairley's kick not quite far enough. Malloy may gather this. Just inside the boundary line. Gives away a bit of ground. Back to Brett Lovett. The kick in towards Lyon. It goes over his head. Back to the square goes Ross Smith. And he's quite content to rush it behind for Melbourne. Their second rush behind. 4-4 to 5-2. The difference 4 points in favour of the Kangaroos. Mickey Martin.
You just can't bomb the ball from half-back, Robbo. You must have a look and try and pinpoint it to your advantage at least, particularly if you can't find a man.
Dean Laidley tackled by the behind post, but he settled himself down. And he kicks it high and long, outside 50 metres. At the back, Tingay. No, yes. Now Stephen Phoebe.
Oh.
A beautiful kick, magnificent kick, and good play there by Schwarz to get in between Garry, Lyon and the North Melbourne defender. And the Melbourne captain will have another shot for goal.
That was a great kick from Phoebe. That's an even better one. No, it's not.
Lovett just a little bit out of touch. North Melbourne will clear. Ross Smith with the football. Forced to kick high. Back in towards centre-half back. Schwarz punched away by Martin. Taken by Stevens. Gets it to Longmire. Harassed out of it by Sean White.
Does very well, White. Then has the ball smothered. Hilton looking for a free kick. Fairly over the top. Stephen Phoebe works it towards the pocket. Lovell tackle. Free kick coming back to Melbourne.
Play on.
It's given to Lyon. He'll kick a goal. He's got it. His second. The D's are in front again. The advantage given to the captain on the run. Well, I reckon they needed a break, the Demons. They've been a bit unfortunate in the first quarter. And they got one there.
Well, it was a little bit fortunate from the umpire. I thought it was a real line ball decision, but Sean White's performance on the half-forward flank coming down from defence was outstanding. He was 2 players to 1, and he just burst through, maintained possession, and put it to his side's advantage.
5-4, 5-2.
North Melbourne making another change. Capuano off and Allison back on. The ball spills out towards the wing. Controlled by Dyson. A little kick off the ground twice in that passage of play, but really couldn't control it. Kevin Dyson, who's had a fair bit of the football. 6 kicks and 2 handballs in the first term.
Dennis Pagan to be just trying to unstable Melbourne a little bit by throwing Allison a runner onto Pike, who won't be able to keep up with him, so Melbourne will probably throw one of their smaller players back onto the ground.
Clarkson gets his left foot to it, forces it forward in the direction of Carey. Oh, that bounce was very awkward there for Carey. Neitz grabs it, kicks it back near the wing. Steins at the back, taken by Glenn Lovett, dragged down by Clarkson, must take the free kick. Free kick squaring up now. North Melbourne 6 to Melbourne 3. Glenn Lovett's kick in towards half forward. Schwarz gathers, gives away a bit of ground, back to Glenn Lovett. Round onto that left foot, he kicks in towards half forward. Contest? No, there was none. Blakey did well. Under pressure from Tingay. And he gives the handball away. It's smothered. Ross Smith goes back to the goal square. Good pressure applied by Melbourne.
And a good kick by Smith. Got to Ramiro at half-back. Ramiro's missed the last couple. That's disappointing. Obst affecting the smother out of play. Jose upset. Missed the last 2. Was taken out of the team after the Footscray game.
Obst is possessed. 4 kicks and 3 handballs.
Darren Cow is now on Adrian McAdam in the goal square.
Martin in the front spot. Lovell goes to ground. Tackled pretty good. Looking for a free kick. Ross Smith can't believe it.
Hilton's come back onto Allison. Pike's gone back to his position in the forward line. Picked up by Fairley.
At 55 metres, Melbourne are 2 points in front. Schwarz over the top. Bangs it to full forward. Lyon and Archer, well played line. Pike tries to get rid of it. Took a long time. Too long. Should have given a reflex handball to Glenn Lovett in the pocket. Against him for a throw. Archer. Crocker, big fly. Stephen Phoebe. Back to centre half forward. Pike. Oh, brilliantly done by Pike. He's got it. Exciting player. Kicks his second. And Melbourne have bounced back in a hurry. 6-4 to 5-2. This has got to be the best first quarter of football we've seen here on a Friday night this year.
Yeah, it's had everything, hasn't it? Big leaps, big marks, and some really good goals.
This is a good kick by Stephen Phoebe.
Excellent kick to the high percentage area. And this fellow on screen, Pike, I know is held in high regard by Greg Wells, an ex-champion Melbourne best and fairest winner and captain, who's chairman of selectors at Melbourne. He's got his deficiencies, but he really has come on in leaps and bounds this year.
Jimmy Steins clears the ball of the centre congestion, but it's taken by Ross Smith. The kick towards half forward. Out comes Yates. He really had to have a real go at that, but the rebounds for North Melbourne. Nichols off the right foot. He's kicked towards full forward. Oh, great mark. Not paid. Neats. Handball close to the line. It's taken over. No, it's not. Yes, it is, according to the boundary umpire. And that kick is a goal.
Out of bounds, right?
But it's out of bounds, back near the 50-metre line. Trent Nichols in the picture. Capuano, Peter German and David King on the bench for North Melbourne. And for Melbourne, they've yet to use their bench, I would assess. Jimmy Steins to do the ruck work up against big Alex Isjenko. Gets his left hand to it, taken by Tingay. Tingay, an ordinary-looking kick, and Ross Smith, a great mark. 50 metres, 55 metres from goal. The siren has sounded, and Ross Smith will shoot for goal for North Melbourne. And if he can kick this, the margin will be just 2 points in favour of Melbourne. So a big test for Ross Smith. Wouldn't have kicked many goals in his career, and he's not going to add to it with that kick. It slews off the side of the boot and goes out of bounds. So the score will remain the same. Melbourne 6-4, lead North 5-2.
Darren Gauci, the man with the goal.
Magnificent opening term, and North Melbourne trail Melbourne by 8 points. The multiple goal scorers are Lyon and Pike, 2 apiece for the D's. It's 5-2 to 6-4.
This match is part of the Foster's 1994 AFL Premiership season.
And a reminder about the World Swimming Championships coming up from Rome on 7 Sport, September 3 through to 12. And check your local guides for details of the telecast. Neil Baum and Dennis Pagan having spoken to their troops. Well, we're excited up here, but we reckon that's about as good as we've seen this year on a Friday night.
A terrific first quarter, Bruce. So you're certainly right there. He's a terrific Dean Irving playing his first game for a long time, playing quite well in that first 15 minutes and gave Melbourne a good chance to get on the scoreboard. Of course, Garry Lyon playing terrific football, and the link man of Glenn Lovett and also Dyson playing excellent football for Melbourne, and Trent Nichols doing the same for North.
Yes, they did well in the centre breaks, didn't they, Melbourne? Irving back out, and I know, Dipper, you had a good look at this shot by Carey. Look at this, Jared. Blown up in slow mode, not even getting close to the goal post.
Well, there is no doubt that we probably need an extra goal umpire for accuracy's sake, but there is a fair bit of resistance from the traditionalists, and maybe it'll be in the 5-year plan on Monday.
Start of the second term. Friday night football at the MCG. 5-2 to 6-4. League changed hands about 4 times in the opening term. Irving went with it. Still in the centre. Tingay's handball pretty good to Lovell. Lovell to full forward. Steins is there. Brings it to the ground. Lyon with a high ball. Not going to be a goal. Scholl gets back and it's out of play. A throw-in in the right forward pocket. The North Melbourne bench, King, German and Capuano. German only his 4th game for the year. Steins and Martin. It's been everywhere in the press this week, Mickey. Schwarz over the top, unable to get away. Glenn Lovett, tackled by Ramiro first, then Schwarz. And umpire coming in to have it again. About 25 metres from Melbourne's goal. They kicked the first 3 goals in this match. Then North came steaming back with 5 of the next 6.
Glenn Lovett in the picture there. He's had 5 kicks and 2 handballs. Up high Martin, but Steins it was. Knocks it into the path of Viney, but taken over by Craig Scholl for a throw-in. Deliberate. Well, Craig Scholl not protesting, so he's looking back to the umpire. But the kick is... I quite wonder about this because it's a free shot at goal. I know it's it's a difficult angle, but if Todd Viney can manufacture something here, it's a 6-point turnaround. Short pass is all right, hasn't gone far enough. Pike held by Scholl.
Jeez.
Now, how far did that travel?
Oh, serious. That looked 10 metres to most people at the ground, I'd suggest.
Well, he's no-nonsense stuff throwing saws. Up goes Steins. Ball spills now for Ross Smith. He was going nowhere. And the umpire will bounce once again. The Demon fan's not happy. And the umpire will bounce. Mick Martin gets a big fist to it. Bashes it back towards half-back. Taken by Tingay. Tingay's left foot kick to the square. Punched away once again. It rebounds. Oh, too high. Free kick to Ross Smith for North Melbourne.
To Ian Fairley. Some experience there between those two. To half-back. Free kick to Crocker. Against Phoebe. Just hanging on to him.
Both hanging on to each other.
Crocker from half-back. Up to centre wing. Garry. Hasn't really been in it yet.
Good defensive work.
Yeah, by Neitz. Stephen Phoebe. Martin. Schwarz. Free kick to Mickey.
Well, that's three right in front of the smokers stand. The Melbourne members are most irate, Robbo.
Well, just that they ask guys to get into a crush of players and do heaps, and then they pay a free kick there. What was that for?
Martin to centre wing. Again, Neitz doing well against Garry. Allison over the line. Right in front of the broadcast box. And the scoreboard shows Melbourne 6-4 to North 5-2. 8-point margin. Irving, first game for the season in the seniors against Ashenko. A couple of blokes who have played at West Coast in their careers. Allison's quick kick. Bit of a blue going on between Ashenko and Irving. And no free kick there to Yates or to Garry. And again, a bounce down.
Dean Irving looks as if he's trimmed down a little bit from the memory of him as a West Coast player. Which is what he needed to do. He's got to be able to cover plenty of ground.
Well, it's his big chance, isn't it, Jared? Late in the season, given an opportunity, Doyle dropped for him. If he can make an impact here, he might be in, and he might be in a finals team. North get it a bit closer. Free-flowing, high-scoring opening term. Slow start to this one. It's 6-4, 5-2.
Wayne Schwarz in the picture there as the umpire bounces at left half forward for North Melbourne. Irving gets his left hand to it. It spills for Ramiro. Ramiro's quick kick goes pretty well straight up in the air. Punched away by Cal. Taken by Irving. A quick kick to Glenn Lovett. Nearly into the path there of Viney. A little kick. Goes back towards half forward for North Melbourne. Away goes Stevens. Hand pass to Schwarz. Taken by Garry. And they are brilliantly smothered off the boot by Yates. Short wide, Yates. Yates lets himself down. Puts Crocker under pressure. Away goes Dyson. He's grabbed too high. Play on, says the umpire. Now Todd Viney gets it away to Cal. He's got pace to burn, Darren Cal. He's kicking towards the centre. And the mark is taken by Schwarz.
Terrific mark. Swings it wide. A lateral movement to Dyson. Melbourne played it very well from half-back a moment ago. Dyson to Lyon. Hits him on the chest. This is where he kicked the goal in the first quarter.
That was a magnificent kick by Dyson.
He's played well, Dyson.
No way known the defender could do anything about that.
He's played very well. Lyon to go for it. Not bad. Not bad right there. Steins in the front spot. Bouncing ball. Glenn Lovett attacked it. Couldn't quite. Smith quick kick away. Doesn't get very far. Chance for Pike. Sits, waits. Looks for a handball option. Goes way back outside 50 to Obst. Obst to full forward. Melbourne with numbers. Mark to Lovell.
Steins good.
Holding off fairly.
And he looked at the umpire as if to say, have I got away with it? Oh.
And he did. Well, Melbourne are going well here, Jared.
Well, I think they've got the ascendancy in midfield. Dyson on top of Schwarz at the moment, both playing wide of each other.
Lovell has got his second. So 2 to Lovell, a couple to Lyon, a couple to Pike. It all adds up. Melbourne are 7-4 to 5-2.
Bomber heroes Van der Haar and...
Well, an important little break for the Demons. It's 14 points. North Melbourne came back in the first quarter. So see what they can do here. Stevens it is that hooks the kick towards half forward. Garry couldn't take the mark. Down goes Yates. Stephen Phoebe, a little kick out into the path there of Tingay. The ball doesn't sit for him, but he's able to get through. Hand pass, back to Yates. Tingay, caught, tackled by Nichols, taken Dyson. Carey runs straight into trouble. Gets the hand pass, Stevens, out into the path of Allison, and sits for that player. He gets around, onto his left foot, into an open goal goes Allison. Short pass, Ramiro gets his second. Well, some excitable type football there by North Melbourne, resulting in a goal to Jose Ramiro, and Melbourne lead by 8 points.
Yeah, but that was great work from the players in the picture that you just saw. Allison finished it off. He took them on. He could have kicked the goal himself, but unselfishly chipped it over. And after Carey mucked one up a couple of minutes ago, Melbourne got one, so they did need to get one back fairly quickly to maintain touch with the Demons.
Back to 8 points. 7-4-6-2. Irving wins the tap. Schwarz after it. Cut up by Lovell. Handball. Missed the first man. Went back to Obst. Got a second go. Took a long time to get his kick. Thumps it to centre half forward. Lyon and Archer. Punched away by Archer. They get a second go. Lyon over the top of it. Gets it out. North Melbourne hold it up. And Stevens picking himself up. Might have been winded there. Obst has had 6 and 3, as Robbo points out. He likes his game so far. On the night that he turned 30. Tingay. Dyson. Speak of him again. 7 and 3. Steins well played fairly. Laidley overran it. Nichols handball high. Not good. Brett Lovett. Handball to Tingay. What's happening? Against Brett Lovett.
For a throw, I think.
Well, he's disappointed.
Can't believe it.
Throw called. Nichols. Centre wing. Carey the target. Front spot to Crocker. No free kick. Stephen Phoebe centering kick. North Melbourne with numbers. Blakey comes across, gets a free kick. Advantage given to Laidley. Swoops away from the back. Goes out wide. Lashenko underneath it at centre wing.
Big Alex has got the football and he can play on. Player running for him, Ramiro, but intercepted by Viney. Back goes Cal to make it difficult for Ramiro, and I thought did it pretty well, yes. The umpire quite adjacent to that situation, and he gives the free kick to the Melbourne player.
Paul, good on for Melbourne.
Go, Gerard. It's Lovell receiving from Cal towards half forward. An important little touch by Pike. Schwarz it is, off that left foot, into the pocket. Garry Lyon, close to the boundary line, it's still in. Lyon gets his right foot to it. Jimmy, no, he's beaten for it on this occasion by Ian Fairley. By gee, that must have been close to being out of bounds out over there when Garry Lyon.
Close to a free kick too, I reckon. Let's have a look if he grabbed him.
Well, we had another look there, and it was terrific by the boundary umpire because it did not go over the line.
What about the field umpire?
You thought it was a free kick maybe to Garry Lyon?
Yep.
Well, we're going back to the goal square. The umpire not happy with what's been happening there as far as Ian Fairley is concerned. So he's going to have to do it once again. From right on the goal line, Ian Fairley kicks North Melbourne back out of trouble.
To centre half back, still inside 50, didn't get a lot of distance. Crocker was in the front spot. Nichols went off the ground away from Obst. Brett Lovett, Glenn Lovett, caught. Nichols again. Clarkson doesn't go far. Glenn Lovett well played, quick hands. Phoebe's kick off from Pike. Tingay could sweep it out wide. He does. Measures it. Dyson kick a goal. Misses. A floater in the end. Tingay's handball outstanding. Longmire and Carey between them haven't taken a mark tonight. And North are within 9 points. That could be ominous. It's 7-5-6-2.
Well, David Neitz is using his knees pretty well against Carey. He's pushing him under the ball a lot of times, but not giving away free kicks.
Smith to go with it. Usually a very good kick. The duck the target. Carey. Stevens, high ball to centre wing. Phoebe sets himself with Crocker. Good duel. Well played, Neitz. He's having a bottler. So's Dyson. can run away now. The shepherd was excellent by Phoebe. The kick to the pocket to Steins. Goes early. Lyon goes to ground. Still Lyon. Handball didn't have a lot on it. Steins gets back. Archer well played. Taken off it. Pike in the pocket. And Scholl out of play.
King on for Clarkson. Clarkson fumbled one midfield about 2 minutes ago, and perhaps he's paying the price. On the phone there to the coach.
Melbourne lead by 9 points, Jimmy Steins, but it's punched away by Ross Smith. Desperate stuff by King, but equally as good in that little passage was Dyson, and it's forced over for a boundary throw in 50 metres from the Melbourne goal.
You'd have to say both sides have been incredibly tenacious tonight. Plenty at stake, and they're fighting for survival.
Well, it's certainly been North Melbourne's trademark. Most of the matches that they've played, the opposition has known all about it. And Melbourne, after having a little bit of a lull in the, well, from about round 7 through to about round 12, wasn't it, that they had a bad trot. Neil Baum in the picture. To round 14 it was that Melbourne's slump lasted. And they look as though they're back onto the right track. The ball spills back for Dyson. Little hand pass, pretty good. Viney in trouble, over on the full. Todd Viney perhaps not, well, the pressure applied by North Melbourne good in that passage. King kicks it down towards the wing. At the back is Carey, gets the hand pass to Crocker. Crocker, he's kicked to the 50-metre line. Sean White and Longmire, and he does well. It's taken away by Hopgood. He was met very, very fiercely there by Carey, but Hopgood does well and runs back to just let the North Melbourne captain know that he's okay. Good bump and a good recovery by the Melbourne player. Boundary throw in left half forward for North.
Irving and Dashenko. Irving did get a handle. Dashenko a second go. Schwarz can't quite get through. Brett Lovett's handball good. Viney goes back. Here's Hopgood. First kick in senior football for the year. To centre wing. Steins in the front spot. Schwarz, who's heavily bandaged tonight, misses the target, which was Obst. Brett Lovett, unfortunate for him, well played Mickey Martin. Lovett slipped over, very well played Mickey Martin, but not a good kick. Screws it back. The commitment there from Neitz meant that he had to mark it in the end. Garry had a go at it. Stephen Phoebe runs it over the line. Well done, out of play. Tightened up this game, hasn't it? Goals have suddenly become hard to get.
Yes, I think they're North Melbourne moving Craig Scholl into offence perhaps to get that goal. And Crocker's gone back into defence onto Pike.
King, Hopgood, free kick. Will it be 50? It is against Stevens. So Melbourne will get a break here from half-back past centre wing. Neitz to get it.
North Melbourne like to play the tall half-forward line with McKernan not missing. They're missing that extra marking target. They've called on Crocker. They've called on Scholl, I should say, to perhaps provide that extra option.
Neitz, just 19 years of age, comes right up to centre wing, doesn't really take full advantage. Not a good kick, because Ashenko had a chance to chop it all the way, and they couldn't rebound here. Schwarz, good kick, gets to Scholl. McAdam the target. Fantastic kick by Scholl. And David Neitz has made a big blue here. Didn't take the advantage of 50. The kick was always going to be 50-50, and North were able to rebound and put McAdam in a scoring position.
Well, this is the finish of some fantastic work from North Melbourne, in particular Wayne Schwarz, who, whilst he might be just being shadowed a little bit at the moment by Dyson, certainly isn't playing poorly. He's getting his share of possessions, but North Melbourne not capitalising. Crocker's move immediately paying dividends. Up to McAdam to convert.
It's kick one. Goes from 50. Looks all right. 2 to McAdam. He hasn't done that for a while. Kicked 2 goals in a match. 7-2 to 7-5.
Davis.
Well, it's back to just a 3-point margin. Brett Lovett dispossesses Stevens, and into the action again goes Wayne Schwarz, as one of North Melbourne's leaders should do.
Hopgood's gone onto the ground to pick up Trent Nichols. His pace was a bit of a problem for Yates. Hopgood is a very quick customer.
Viney gets a little kick at it. Chance for Glenn Lovett. Ross Smith there gets a second crack at it. Goes towards half forward. Back goes Stephen Phoebe. Gives away ground. Hand pass severe for Neitz. Free kick. And it will go to Melbourne. It could be Stephen Phoebe's free kick. Interfered with after he got rid of the football. Prepared to give the hand pass away to Lovell. Lovell from right half back. Kicks out in the direction of Steins. Good ruck work. Gave it to Viney. Viney's kick. Ordinary. Chipping in is Schwarz. Causing some problems. The rebound again. The kick by Schwarz towards half forward. It goes to the back. Cowell is there to tidy up. Comes back to the right side of his body. Neitz comes out where Viney is on his own. Todd Viney's got plenty of time. He can go short, and he does. He finds Brent Lovett. Sweeping hand pass Lovell. Tingay gets past and gives it to Steins. Steins' little kick was muffed. Taken by King, too high by Tingay, but play goes on. The ball spills now for Schwarz. He's a very talented, tall player as David Schwarz. The little kick goes to Dyson. Dyson goes to half forward. The kick is beautiful. It finds Lovell, who's been on his own 2 or 3 times. And I would think, much to the disgust of the North Melbourne coaching staff, Lovell has kicked 2 goals. He probably feels he may be too far out to score. He goes for the good long kick. It's a good one to the line. It's gone through. I think Garry Lyon thinks it's a goal. It's a goal. Well, maybe the ledger now squared. Garry got one that we didn't think should have been paid a goal. And Melbourne's 8th goal may be a questionable one.
Neil Palm looked a bit frustrated there. Let's just have a look to see if this was touched. There was some question about it. If it was a fingernail.
Laidley out of the centre, 8-5-7-2. Sean White punched away. Bouncing footy. Blakey, oh, White's tackle was strong. North Melbourne might say slightly high. Melbourne would say perfect. Tingay to Obst. Now he should use this. Not good. Lyon went short. Obst over the top.
And Andy Lovell is becoming a real problem for North Melbourne. He's dragging Ross Smith out up onto the half forward line, and if Smith has got a problem, it is when he gets taken up the field.
Obst could have gone for goal,
well,
couldn't
that's
he?
what I was thinking.
He's at about 50 and on the run.
And there was no one near him.
Martin Irving wins it. Schwarz went without it. Just held up by Pike. There's Laidley and Obst who've been at it for a fair bit of the night. The D's are 9 points in front. 2
of the real antagonists in AFL football, Dean Laidley and Andrew Obst.
Certainly go at it, don't they? Irving again. Free kick, Martin. Schwarz. Is there danger here? Archer's quick kick. Controlled it pretty well, Archer, under pressure. Got it to the line. King keeps it in. Well played. Got a second go. Centre half forward. Oshenko, terrific mark. Wonderful grab. Melbourne players probably should have done better. Nichols squeezes at the Longmire. White with him. He's having a good game. Longmire juggles. White will think that he got first touch. But Longmire takes his first mark of the night.
Let's just have a look at this one unfold. One hand up there by the horse.
I think it was his.
I think so.
Good decision. Longmire kicks his first. Does he? Yes. Squeezes it in. Terrific game, isn't it?
You can't really take much notice of the goal umpires these days. They come all the way across to make it just look a little bit more dramatic than it is.
Talk about the little things in footy. What about King back here on the wing?
Terrific.
He's actually now picking up Kevin Dyson, which is surprising that Melbourne's moved Dyson out of the middle.
So back at the centre, where the contests have been pretty good. King shrugs the tackle, gets around onto his right foot, kicks it in towards centre half forward, getting back and taking a safe chest mark as Tingay. Gets it to Hopgood, away to Cowell. Cowell off that left foot. Goes out towards the wing. Obst and Laidley. Taken by Nichols. Tackled by Brett Lovett. The ball spills for McAdam. Laconically down the boundary line, and Carey has taken the mark. Carey in towards half forward. Ramiro. Viney just a little late. Ramiro, a hand pass away, Nichols. Nichols into the path of Schwarz. He'll nearly kick a goal, Wayne Schwarz. He goes long into the pocket, and it bounces just at the feet of John Longmire. Through for one behind, kicked by Wayne Schwarz.
Glenn Lovett is now picking up Wayne Schwarz. With Kevin Dyson moving out onto the wing, onto King. King really is going at the football like he means business. Shrugging off a number of players in the last battle.
2 points the margin. Cow to kick it back in for Melbourne.
Not a good kick. Carey was in the box seat. Neeks did very well. Glenn Lovett. Schwarz behind. Well done again. Pike. Was he legged? Yes.
Surprising to see Wade Carey go for the big punch back into the forward line there. Perhaps that just indicates that maybe his confidence is just on the way to touch.
Pike to Steins. Doesn't gain a lot. Pike was at 50, Steins is at about 46 and tucked away in the pocket. 8-5, 8-3.
Craig Scholl's gone into defence onto Schwarz. Dennis Pagan really throwing his troops around.
Short. Well, they've gone back to the 50. Stephen Phoebe. Still outside range, you would think. Runs at it, goes for it, gives it a good run. It's right there. Hands go up, line, goal to Schwarz. He's got it. Schwarz.
See, that's pretty ordinary defence by North Melbourne.
9-5 to 8-3. Schwarz gets his first for the night.
You would have thought there, Gerard, the percentages with the defenders to punch it through from this kick from Stephen Phoebe.
Absolutely, but Dean Irving just coming off the ground, but it was Garry Lyon that got his hands on the ball. Let's just see if how the ball ricochets. Straight to the ground. Straight into the hands of the big fellow.
Very quick thinking there by Schwarz. There's a free kick out of the contest at the ruck. Viney has the advantage. He kicks it to within scoring distance for Melbourne. The ball with Ian Fairley. His kick to 50 metres. Glenn Lovett. Good play by Glenn Lovett. Hand pass. Dyson in trouble. Stevens gets it. Kicks it down towards the vacant wing area. Cow should take it over, and he does. He was about to be set upon by Allison and Schwarz. And the bench for Melbourne there, Dean Irving having a rest before half-time. We've got 3 minutes left in the second term.
Important little period here, isn't it, in the match, with Melbourne leading at 9-5 to 8-3. Viney's high ball. Ramiro goes at it. Was that out on the fall? It was.
Well, we mentioned that Andy Lovell was a problem. He's got the football. His man, Ross Smith, has gone down onto Garry Lyon. Glenn Archer's moved up the ground.
Steins to Glenn Lovett. Should run on. He does now. Centering ball. Not bad. Lyon the target. Comes to ground. Brett Lovett. Taken by Tingay. Could kick a goal. Behind. 1-1 for Tingay. He hit the post earlier on tonight and then got a second shot and kicked it. 9-6, 8-3. Smith. Short. To Crocker. Sweeps it to Laidley. Laidley to centre wing to Ramiro. Neats gets in. Obst runs it out of play. There's no question that Carey is not 100%. We saw him injured here on a Friday night not that long ago. He struggled against Djakovic last week, and he's really having a battle tonight against Neats. Viney gives it away. Steins and Ashenko are at it.
Jimmy's got nothing to complain about. He took the ball out of the ruck, and Ashenko applied the tackle and was a bit unfortunate not to be given a free kick.
Carey, who started the season so brilliantly. Nichols, little toe poke. Schwarz, Allison and Cow, a bit of pace there. King, a bit of strength there, held up. Gone, holding the footy.
Well, that is tough because King made the ball his objective. He tried to go through the two players, which was probably why he was free kicked. But he's certainly leading the charge for North Melbourne, showing them how to run directly at the football.
Cow takes it for the D's, looks for Steins. Had to take it, had Nichols against him, a bit of David and Goliath, but he did. Out wide, Viney, the target, gets to him. His disposal's been disappointing tonight, Viney. Given it up a couple of times. That one better. Schwarz at about 60 metres. Lyon about to go. Lovell calling it long. Oh, terrible. Awful. You can have that one, Robbo.
Well, with 1.5 minutes left in the quarter, that really wasn't what you'd classify as ideal there by David Schwarz. Free kick to North Melbourne. They've got possession. So if they can take it down the ground, it's very important that Melbourne hold the Kangaroos out, and Schwarz makes up for it by taking a specky at right half forward. Probably too far out to score. He goes for the short pass into the pocket, and a good mark taken by Pike. Well, he's been a little bit of a, what would you call him, the ace up the sleeve for Melbourne, hasn't he?
Sleeper.
Pike.
A little sleeper.
My word. And especially if he can dob a goal from this right forward pocket. His kick two. His shot for goal is just offline and through 4-1 behind.
And whilst that was happening, it looked like Kevin Dyson came off the ground injured. Graham Yates has gone back onto the wing, onto King. And there's the problem. Obviously looks like his left knee.
Smith to Fairley. At half back. High ball. Meets and Garry. Tingay there with Blakey. Lovell did pretty well. Tingay keeps it in. Viney with a bit of courage. To Glenn Lovett. To Brett Lovett. To Yates. Go for goal. He does. Doesn't have the legs. Archer. 20 seconds remaining. Can North conjure a goal? They'll need to do it quickly. Laidley from Schwarz. It's 9-7 to 8-3. Centre wing. Garry uses his body. Schwarz does it easily. Time will beat the D's, you think, here. They're leading, though. Tingay. Melbourne have done a good job. North are still with them. But the D's, who led by 8 points at quarter time, have stretched it to 10. It's been a terrific first half. It's 9-7, 8-3. Lovell's kicked 3. Pike a couple, Lyon a couple. McAdam and Ramiro are the principal goal scorers for North Melbourne. And when you think that Longmire and Carey between them have taken 2 marks in the first half, North have probably done pretty well to hang on. That's the scene at half-time, 8-3 to 9-7. Second half about to start. Friday night football at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Irving Ashenko wins it. Viney was looking for a free kick. Archer got his hands on it. Quick kick away by Schwarz, straight up in the air. Allison chips away cleverly. Stevens. No free kick. Viney.
Craig Scholl's been moved onto the wing, picking up Stephen Tingay, who had 17 possessions in that first half and was one of the best few players on the ground.
Irving Ashenko again. King, quick kick, gets some distance. He's got a bit of power. Longmire had a grab of it through the fingers behind. 8-4 to 9-7. Struggled in the last 3 weeks, Longmire.
Ross Smith remains on Garry Lyon. Of course, North want to keep him down in the goal square. Jim Steins is in the goal square for Melbourne and being picked up by Ian Fairley.
As Cowell with the football for Melbourne, and he goes straight down the ground in towards centre half back. Left behind there by Hilton. Ball spills down for Obst. Could have nearly been penalised there. Melbourne will get out of trouble. Brent Lovett to Tingay. Tingay blindly to centre half forward. Oh, good performance there by Schwarz. Couldn't take the mark, though. Crocker gets a wobbly little punt kick. The player there with the ball in front of him, Scholl, has got plenty of time to gather his momentum, but his kick is very, very bad. And he puts it on the chest of Viney. Viney goes to Tingay. Tingay, high. Schwarz in front, down to Laidley. Kicked away by Blakey, back towards centre half forward for North Melbourne. The ball spills to the back. Good effort there by Hilton. Cowles grab, didn't have it. Ellison gets it out into the path of Nichols. Grab. Hopgood. Lucky to get away with that, Jeff Hopgood. Then kicks it out for Brett Lovett and Schwarz. Brett Lovett, handballs to his own advantage. Schwarz quite content to knock it over. Brett Lovett taken over the boundary line. And both supporters would feel that there could have been at least one free kick to either side in that little passage of play.
Well, I was watching this from afar, and you could just see a player run across the umpire's vision. That's the only reason he could have missed it.
Lovett goes again with Schwarz, who paddles into the line out of play.
That'll be a match-up that I would think would suit North Melbourne, having Schwarz on Brett Lovett. Should be able to motor away from him.
Just saw the North Melbourne bench, including Clarkson. Viney, Pike goes back, gets to Dyson. As Dipper said, not seriously injured. Phoebe inside 50. Garry Lyon at the back. Martin got a good grip. Decided to kick in a hurry. Had Laidley running for a handball, but the decision's pretty good because Scholl's onto it. At half-back to centre wing. Carey attacked that one pretty well. Handball fantastic by Carey. Brilliant to Scholl. Running play to Longmire at the back. McAdam went with him. Went through Hopgood. Longmire again. White did pretty well. Now has to get rid of it. Held it up 40 metres from goal. Melbourne key forwards have taken 14 marks in the first half to North Melbourne's 4. Nichols, King, Ramiro, Irving got him. Back to Cow. North Melbourne doing a Melbourne there and turning it over Cow. They look for something down the ground. Free kick, no, not to Scholl. Gee, where's the whistle gone? Martin with Schwarz. Still Martin. Glenn Lovett onto him. Lovell and Laidley. Laidley was looking for one, then held it up. Melbourne come in hard through Schwarz.
Free kick to North.
Too high, Robbo, I think.
Laidley's got it at half-back.
Well, I thought the umpire was going to bounce it. He may have seen an infringement there underneath that pack of players and gave it to Laidley. Laidley's kick, punched away. Goes to Tingay. He's held too high by Scholl. And Craig Scholl having one of his very, very ordinary evenings of football. Tingay just squeezes the kick away in the direction of Schwarz. Comes now for Glenn Lovett, but taken by Lovell. Hand pass, Ramiro. Now Eschenko combines with Stevens. Stevens runs away from the centre. Gives it to the man who kicks with great distance, Wayne Schwarz, in towards full forward. Sean White, Cowell runs through, leaves the ball behind. Hopgood gets it out towards Stephen Phoebe. Stephen Phoebe's kick is very, very good. He saw Lovett, Scholl went back, gave away the free kick. And it's Brett Lovett's ball.
You'd think North Melbourne would be able to do something more productive with the ball when Schwarz is bursting through the centre, other than just bombing it long, but there was nothing to give it to.
Free kick to Martin.
John Longmire just needs to lead a bit earlier and to provide the midfielders with an option.
Article about this guy in the paper yesterday, or today I think it was. He's done a terrific job for North Melbourne, Michael Martin.
Back to centre wing. Stevens went without it. Stephen Phoebe. Stevens second go to Carey. Quick hands. Ramiro onto it. Runs away. Obst goes for him. Ramiro goes to full forward. At the back, Longmire. Taken by Hilton. Pretty good kick.
Well, Sean White can out-muscle and compete in a one-on-one battle with Garry Ablett. He's done that successfully this year. You would think that he's going to have John Longmire covered. So Longmire has to try and find another way of winning the ball, and that's on the lead.
Irving and Eschenko. After so many goals in the first quarter, they've become tough to get. Archer was there, so was Stevens, Viney and McAdam. Stephen Phoebe. And again, it's the umpires. 25 metres from North Melbourne's goal.
I don't think it'd hurt to put Glenn Archer into the falls forward position and maybe Big John out in the half-forward line.
Well, Irving down to Stevens. Stevens snaps. Oh, poor effort. Across the face. Behind. Just squeezing in. First score to Stevens for the night. Doesn't kick a lot of goals.
And how would the boundary umpire or the goal umpire, they both looked at each other then to make a decision as to whether it was out of bounds on the full or a behind.
It was close.
Only 2 points added so far in about 6 minutes of football at the start of the third quarter.
That's a great kick.
Phoebe's kick finds Lovett. Gets it away to Hilton. Hilton goes out towards the wing. Lovell tries to tap it to his own advantage, but King is there. King back onto the right foot. Kicks it high towards the centre. North Melbourne through is Jenko. Takes the mark. Sweeps a hand pass into Schwarz. He's tackled by Lovett, but he spins out of trouble. Gets onto that favoured left foot and kicks it high towards full forward. David Neitz, but it's taken by Archer. He's tackled. Gets rid of the football. It's Hilton again. Hand pass, rather lackadaisically, to Dyson. Dyson goes to Cal. Cal from the back pocket area, half-back flank, gets it to Tingay. Tingay goes down the wing. A good kick by Tingay. Finds Lovell. Chased down by Laidley. Kicks it hurriedly. Ball spills for Fairley. A little bit out of sorts is Ian Fairley. Laidley gets it to Crocker. Crocker off the left foot, down towards the wing, and the mark is taken by Stevens.
Tries to get away from Obst. King provided a shepherd. Irving got back very well.
Well, it's typical play of North Melbourne tonight. They're playing as if they've got a dominant half-forward line. They're being slaughtered across there, but they continue to bob it long to the forwards.
Viney back to Irving. Just got his kick in time to centre half forward. Schwarz outnumbered. Did very well to get it to ground. Pike then outnumbered. Looking for a free kick, North Melbourne. Not there this time. Bounce. 60 metres from Melbourne's goal. North have had most of the footy in the second half. 9-7-8-5. Friday night football between two of the teams that would hope to be here battling it out in September. Fairly. Garry did pretty well that time. 3 players overran it. Hopgood swings it wide. Rather Hilton to Hopgood. The lookalikes. Inside 50. Schwarz and Martin. Schwarz kept it in very well. Glenn Lovett, clever. Obst, can he get it back? No free kick, Schwarz. Took a while. Lovell's kicked 3. This won't be one. A wobbly one. Quick hands by North Melbourne to Laidley. Controls the footy. Good kick. Gets to Schwarz.
Schwarz on his right side gave the hand pass away. Stevens, both those players being left footers. Schwarz now with the advantage. Kicks towards half forward. Knocked away there by Capuano, and the ball is out of bounds, so a throw-in will take place right half forward for North.
And Capuano came on replacing Glenn Archer. You can see on screen, looks to have done his ankle, but you just saw another performance there by North. The futility of kicking it to Garry with 2 big opponents against him is really showing out.
A high kick taken by McAdam. Got a little bit of space and brilliantly got it to Garry. Well, I'd have another look at that, and I reckon that McAdam had intention written all over that. Not much space. Squeezed a little kick, and Garry is marked within scoring distance.
I think the crowd are a bit upset because of the one that was played against Melbourne in the second quarter, where a short pass was deemed play on, even though it looked to all and sundry that it wasn't 10.5 metres.
Well, not much scoring has been done since half-time. This will be the first goal of the third quarter if Garry can kick it. Just hooks it a little bit and misses off to the left.
Dean Irving coming off. Malloy.
Stephen Phoebe for Melbourne. Archer being attended to on the bench. Greg Miller in the foreground there. One of the administrators at North Melbourne. The kick by Phoebe in towards half-back, and a strong mark taken by Neitz in front of Schwarz.
North will be a bit concerned about the Malloy and Fairley matchup.
Hopgood under pressure in the end, kicking it. Centre wing. Little nick with a Schenko, but no blood coming out. Goes with Steins. No McKernan to help Mashenko out tonight. They're missing McKernan across half forward. Viney. Blakey held up by Glenn Lovett very well. Free kick against Blakey for a throw. And Lovett is a thumping kick. He'd have a chance from here.
Once again, Melbourne trying to get Ross Smith out on the half-forward line with Lyon making the long lead.
It's a good kick. It's a good-looking kick by Glenn Lovett. Just missing. 9-8 to 8-6. 8 points the margin.
Gee, you get the feeling that the next goal is going to be worth about 3.
Whichever way it goes, because North, particularly for North, if it goes against them, they've worked so hard and haven't been able to get one. Schwarz didn't take it. Scholl came in from the side. Steins was over the top of it for a long time. Nichols paddled it out. Ashenko. Cow ran straight at it. Stevens. Ashenko again in tight quarters. Well done, Ramiro, as it got to Scholl. Scholl's kick all right. McAdam on the lead. Well, he's kicked 2, McAdam. Ironically, coming in tonight, because a couple of players dropped out, he's been the most potent forward for North Melbourne. Ramiro's got a couple as well, but McAdam, as far as key forwards is concerned, has looked more damaging than Longmire and Carey.
Well, maybe there could be an interchange there. Longmire coming out to centre half forward, Carey going.
Has he gone back far enough? McAdam?
Nearly back at the wing.
It's a long run up.
Yeah, Carey in the goal square, I think, would be worthy of some merit, particularly as we believe he is carrying a bit of an injury.
It's a good view of it there. Slow to start. Gets into some sort of rhythm. Kicks from about 48, not good. To the goal square. North Melbourne had numbers. Tingay's been quite wonderful. To Viney. To Big Jimmy. And the Irishman who won the Brownlow a few years ago. Goes away. North Melbourne fell over. Cow's got it. Takes a Ashenko on. Runs and kicks. Gets the half forward. Martin read it pretty well on Schwarz. Handball fairly good. Mickey Martin's been okay, though Schwarz got on top for a while in the second. Blakey thumps it out a half back into the centre square.
Very ordinary kick by Cow has caused that ball to come rebounding back for North Melbourne. And the mark was taken by Carey. Umpire very quickly onto the scene. Carey is before centre half forward. The high kick in towards full forward. Contest back there. That's marked by Capuano nearly. Longmire's into the action. Tries to get it to Allison. Succeeds. Hand pass. Ramiro will get his third. Jose's dogged it from 20 metres. Ramiro's third goal. North Melbourne fans on fire. Melbourne lead by 2 points. 8 minutes left in the third quarter. The first goal of the third term, kicked by Ramiro. Steins does the ruck work. Maybe the advantage is with Melbourne. Obst takes it away. Obst goes towards goal. Kicks it towards full forward. The mark taken by Pike. Now that advantage rule, quite critical, because I'm sure the North Melbourne defenders would have been expecting the ball to go back. They make their move. And of course, the advantage with Obst. The football now with Pike. He's kicked 2. He's going short. And that is effective. The mark is taken by Tingay. Well, he's not that much closer than Pike was. He's going into the pocket. King and Lovell, maybe not the right option, because now North Melbourne are able to rush it out of bounds. And the Kangaroos effect a change. Nichols off and German on.
Lyon and Smith. Schwarz is there with Martin. Just gives it up to Viney. Snapshot for goal. Good. It's a goal.
Does it look awfully like a throw, that one?
Looked a bit like it, didn't it? 10-8 to 9-6.
Well, the umpire wasn't really in a great spot. You can see the contest here.
Definitely looked a throw by Schwarz.
He was back out of the picture a little bit. There were a couple of North players between he and David Schwarz.
Great snap. Don't take anything away from Viney.
Played well.
10-8, 9-6. 8 points the difference. Stevens thumps it towards half forward. Hopgood caught by German, who's just come on. Carey starting to get some touches. Great kick, hits the post. Get a feeling that Carey might be winding up. It's been a slow process, but he's starting to get a bit of the footy. It's 10-8 to 9-7.
Jimmy Steins indicating to kick to the members' side. Ignored at this stage by Stephen Phoebe. Now Phoebe goes in that direction. In front was Neitz, but it's punched away. Obst dragged off the football. It's German. Off the left foot goes Peter German to the goal square. It's helped over for a rush behind to North Melbourne. Andrew Obst, who's played such a key part in the first half in particular. He had 14 possessions. Hasn't had much of the football in his third term. And we see how he gets himself into a spot of bother there through injury. Sean White takes the kick in. Goes short. Cowell's got it. Looking to give the hand pass away. But he steadies and kicks Melbourne outside the 50-metre region.
Steins a target. Carey affected a spoil. King did very well. Let Ramiro go with it, but Cowell chopped it off. Quick kick away. Dyson, terrific early, then got a slight injury and has been out of it. King gets back, beats 3 of them. Does he give it away? He does. Neitz can't keep it in. A good break for North in the end. Goal the difference.
Be a great scene if the scores could level up by, say, three-quarter time.
North have got John Longmire right up on the square at the moment.
Laidley at the back of the pack to centre half forward. Longmire from the side. Obst hands were quick but didn't get to White. Scholes had a good turn. Carey to square it up. The captain running in. Misses. I think he was desperate to give a handball over the top to Capuano, who decided to stay there. And look at the champ. Can't believe it. Well, Carey tonight has kicked 1 goal free, and the goal that he was given was a point. So he's actually, if he wanted to be very pedantic, missed 4 times tonight.
He's played like a mere mortal.
Phoebe to Cowell. 10-8, 9-9. North doing a Melbourne. Plenty of the footy, not much to tell for it. Dyson.
Dyson's kick goes in towards the centre. Big punch, good play, Lovett. Lovell's got a player in support. He goes in short, centre half forward. And the big Irishman has taken the mark. Jimmy Steins at centre half forward for Melbourne. So a quick transference of the football.
This is a trademark of Jimmy Steins' ruck work, taking marks inside the 50-metre zone.
Goes in short. Taken by Pike. Left foot snapped by Pike. Goes to the goal line. Big Alex gets back. Garry Lyon late. Stevens takes it away. No, the mark or free kick has been paid to Ishchenko. Back there at full back for North Melbourne.
Again, Melbourne indirect. Steins at 48 going wide. And putting Pike into a situation, I know it was for Lyon originally, Pike in a situation where he couldn't make the distance. Schwarz in the front spot. Allison well played there by Dyson. Still with Allison, clever. Hugs the boundary. Bouncing, just in. 5 points to margin. The repercussions for the loser tonight are significant. North will go from 3rd to 8th. Melbourne will probably be out of business.
Looks like Longmire having a rest. Nichols about to make another charge.
Steins smothered very well by King. Held up by Obst, but he got it to Schwarz. Schwarz takes Viney on. Runs away with a bounce. Not a good kick. Tingay. Very well played to Cowell. To White. Here's a rebound. White to run away. Charges through. Slow old handball. Brett Lovett's handball to Dyson.
Wow.
Great tackle. Gone. Holding the footy.
Now, why would they have 3 or 4 possessions there when a brilliant long kick from the White handball would have put them into attack?
Exactly, Robbo.
That's a fantastic chase and tackle by Brett Allison.
Gee, Ramiro's been on the end of a bit of Allison tonight. He got one there. He's got 2 goals off him. Gives it up. Nichols. North Melbourne struggling to find some rhythm. Allison's kicked to half forward. Everybody missed it, except for Stephen Phoebe, who was bringing up the rear. Good kick. Gives Steins the run of it. Cop one, the big Irishman. Gave it to Viney. Better kick that one. Beauty. A ripper. And Lyon made it a good thing. Go back and kick the goal, the captain.
He's a quality player, Garry Lyon.
Well, this is a big kick, Robbo, at 10-8 to 9-9. This is important that he goes and kicks his third, because the Demons are struggling to get away from 50. Gives it a hook, misses. And so the two captains have missed in this third quarter when it could have counted for a lot. Carey a sitter. There's Longmire. Just 3 goals in his last 3 games, Longmire. Yet 6 times this season. He's kicked 5 or more. Missed by Fairley. Viney. Line chopped off. Taken by Smith.
Smith's high kick. Out towards half-back. Brett Lovett, good mark in front of David King. He's outside 50. Couldn't possibly kick the distance, I wouldn't think, Brett Lovett. 2.5 minutes left in the term.
Schwarz calling for it, long one out.
Lovell, over the back. Chance for Crocker, gets the hand pass away, well out into the path of Nichols, which was good. Nichols a little kick into the centre, North Melbourne may turn it over. Capuano, run down German, just got his right foot to it. Kicks it close to the line. It's kept in, is it? Yes, no, it's out. Now, how does the boundary umpire? He was prepared to let that go for 1 second, and the goal umpire did nothing back in the square, but it's out of bounds, 50 metres from goal for North Melbourne.
I think Carey actually gave it away, right?
He did, yeah.
I mean, I think Carey believed it was out.
Body language said it all, didn't it?
Watch this.
He had a look. Guilty as charged.
So the football brought all the way back to the 50-metre line. Melbourne at 10-9, North Melbourne at 9-9. The ball at the back for Dyson. He's played a terrific game. So is this guy. Viney runs away from half-back and drills it to centre-half forward. Schwarz and Martin. Schwarz does well. Ball spills for Malloy. Out into the path of Lovell. Lovell will get a goal. He's kicked 4. Melbourne to win this game, Andy Lovell could nearly say he's played a match-winning part in the Demon performance.
Yes, well, North Melbourne didn't cover the back of the pack on that throw-in, and Melbourne just scooted it away. Bad luck there for Mick Martin, but he's had a good battle with Schwarz.
Two goals the margin. 11-9 to 9-9. Lovell with 4 goals. Viney and Dyson with plenty of touches in the centre. Here's Cowell, who's been okay. Allison's got him. Got the handball to Phoebe. Phoebe to centre half forward. Malloy underneath it. Free kick going against Malloy. We'll go to Fairley. Goes out wide. Mickey Martin. Well played. Schwarz committing himself. Martin running away. To centre half forward. Carey launches, couldn't quite. Neitz has been terrific. Carey chops Viney off. Well played, Carey. Gave North some hope. Hopgood. Handball was terrific. To Obst. To Hopgood. Stretches Dyson. Turns. Goes to full forward with a long bomb. Pike's back there. Smith. Lyon. Smith good hands to Martin. To Crocker. It's exciting stuff. To Laidley at half-back. Sweeps it out to Ramiro. Ramiro goes inside. Gets it to Blakey. Blakey in the centre square to full forward. McAdam sets himself. Couldn't quite, goes to ground. Cowell and Allison. It's like Ben Johnson and Carl Lewis. They go to the line together. Cowell just wins. Handballs back like Ben couldn't. Gets it to Neitz.
Neitz towards Obst. Obst is on centre wing. Melbourne may turn it over. The kick finds Schwarz. 20 seconds left. Schwarz must go long. Oh, in the back. And that, to me, is like a trick.
Lyshenko's been taken off the ground. Capuano into the ruck. John Longmire's gone to full forward.
Well, if you want to sum it up, I reckon that's nearly as bad as a trick. Give away a free kick when the player's streaming down the ground.
Would you report him?
Well, I'm saying it makes the trip look equally as ridiculous. The kick by Schwarz to centre half forward, punched away. Now Schwarz. Schwarz's kick is high, and the siren has sounded as the ball bounces on centre wing. And at 3/4 time, Melbourne lead by 12 points. They're 11-9. North are 9-9.
Out of the final term on what's been a slashing Friday night game. 11 goals, 9 Melbourne, 9-9 North Melbourne. Melbourne going to the right. Clarkson held up. Oh, gets a free kick for a high tackle. Schwarz caught, spins out. High ball. Steins gets back.
Terrific effort, Steins.
Yeah, wasn't it? He got
Great effort by Steins.
He would have realised they were coming, and he got himself into the position, stood his ground and copped the whack, and now get a free.
One of the superstars of the game.
Well, he's played about 160-odd consecutive matches. It's been remarkable. The big man who swept the board when he won the Brownlow in 1991. Oh. That would have been a bad move. Had he had your mouth in. Kicks it back. Well played by Obst. Sean right onto it. He's a good athlete. Picks it up. Bangs away to full forward. Lyon. He's got it. Was always going to take it. Well, you reckon he'll kick this?
Great effort by White to run the distance, the length of the ground almost, to be involved in what should be a goal for Melbourne. Pretty tight angle. Perhaps the sealer coming up.
Gee, early for that, Jared. Close. He's disappointed. He's missed. Well, Garry Lyon, so brilliant with his goal kicking early. He's now kicked 2-3.
Well, North Melbourne did kick 6 goals to 1 in the last quarter against the Eagles last Friday night, but there was one person that was there last week that's not there tonight. McKernan. He was terrific, I reckon. Had centre bounces for North Melbourne in that last term. This is Ross Smith, and he decides to go pretty well straight down the ground. The ball rebounds. King tackled by Obst. King after it again. So was Stevens, grabbed by Obst. How did he get rid of it? Well, the umpire was in a good position. Gave Obst. Well, nothing really. Obst not happy.
I think the other fellow that North are particularly missing is Peter Mann. His height at both ends of the ground is invaluable.
Martin takes the ball out of the air and kicks it back towards half forward. Allison. The ball spills for Carey. Couldn't control it. Neitz gets his right foot to it. Stevens has a chance. Little handball into the path of Schwarz. Gives away a little bit of ground to Fairley. Fairley goes wide. Tingay couldn't take the mark. Scholl gets it to Nichols. North Melbourne mounting something. Nichols' kick across half forward has been marked by Capuano. Capuano is 53 metres from goal. He goes for the big bomb. It slews off the side of his boot. It's not marked by Neitz. It's held in. Carey gets it to Nichols. Nichols in trouble. Caught with a football. Scholl's going to get run down. He gets the handball wide. It's Clarkson. Clarkson's snapshot is a North Melbourne goal. So Melbourne had the chances at the start of the term, but North Melbourne hit back and get the first goal of the last quarter.
And boy, won't that be encouraging. Geez, it really is costly when you miss those goals. Set shots from 30 metres out. They've just got to go down in the book as 6 points. It really has opened up the gate for North Melbourne, and Melbourne could cost themselves a finals berth.
Back to 7 points. 10-9, 11-10. Quick kick by Brett Lovett to centre half forward. Well done by Laidley to punch away. Taken. Good tackle by Lovell there on Scholl to hold him up. Obst over the top. Tingay. Fight going on between Malloy and Scholl. And Rowan Saws is going to give a free kick to Malloy. So no advantage to Melbourne at all.
Well, Bruce, if Melbourne don't win this, I think it'd be fair to say they don't deserve to be in the finals, because they've been on top for most of the night. And they will have frittered away opportunities to kick a winning score.
Malloy, long kick. Lovell was leading with Schwarz. Pike, back to Lovell, to Brett Lovett, still outside 50, centering kick. Lyon won't get there, Fairley does. North Melbourne a rebound to Clarkson. Clarkson wide for Carey. Neitz goes early. Carey used his body beautifully. Carey away with a bounce. He's going to take Steins on all the way.
Shepherd.
And go for goal. Centering kick. Nichols, Longmire in the pocket. Not good. Hop could run out of play.
So once again, Bruce, Carey should have been kicking to an empty goal square. John Longmire and Nichols just stood flat-footed in the square. No options at all for Carey.
It was an exciting dash by Carey. Capuano sets himself with Steins. Steins over the top. Hilton went to ground. Viney squeezes it out wide. Scholl is lifted in the second half.
Close to the line, Craig Scholl has taken it over. And it will be thrown in at right half forward for the Kangaroos.
That was a guess.
Craig Scholl not happy.
Absolute guess.
Boundary umpire will throw it in. It's about 75 to 80 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. Capuano and Steins. Steins gets it down. Nearly taken for North Melbourne, but getting back is Hilton. Hilton close to the boundary line. Gets around, little hand pass. Dyson and Hilton. Hilton again, a sweeper. Gives it to Obst. Hilton spills it. Very critical now. Obst tidies up. Hopgood gets it to Dyson. Dyson goes to Viney. Viney's played a magnificent game of football. Short pass is okay. Finds Lovell. 50 metres from goal. Andy Lovell goes to the square. Now the contest is on. Lyon's got it in the goal square. Brilliant use of the body. Just getting Ross Smith out of that marking contest. And Garry Lyon surely, after 3 behind straight, will get his 3rd goal.
Well, it had to come back to haunt them, this North Melbourne. They were never going to get away with this for the entirety of the night, having Ross Smith on Garry Lyon.
Lyon kicks the goal, his 3rd. Just a little bit of breathing space for Melbourne, but don't give up on the Kangaroos. There's 15 minutes left.
Collingwood and Geelong, Fitzroy and Richmond.
3 goals to Lyon. The Demons by 13 points. Hopgood's handle under pressure was the start of all that. It was just first class. It was spot on. 82 to 69. Steins runs to the Sherco. Glenn Lovett straight up in the air. Schwarz underneath it, worked under it by Martin cleverly. King goes back. Laidley puts him under pressure. Not a good option. Glenn Lovett, well played. Inside now, Brett Lovett should kick a goal. Measures it. Got it! Poor handball option by North Melbourne. And the Demons are in the driving seat now. They should win from here. They really should win.
Yeah, this is almost a modern-day sin of football, trying to duck back. You just cannot do it with the improved tackling skills of players. Down went Laidley, and down go North Melbourne.
Well, I still wouldn't give up, Bruce. 14.5 minutes. I know that their momentum is with Melbourne. There's a free kick out of the centre ruck duel. It's going to Melbourne, is it? Yes. And it has to go back to Steins. Steins goes short. Glenn Lovett getting plenty of the football. Short pass is good. Now this could be a very important kick by Andy Lovell. He's kicked 4 goals. And his 5th goal will make it 25 points.
Glenn Lovett's performance tonight has really been quite good.
Lovell from 45 metres. Beautiful kick as a goal. Now that makes it extremely difficult for the Kangaroos. 25 points with 14 minutes left.
Great shot at goal, Andy Lovell. I think another factor in Melbourne's dominance has been Steins' athleticism in the middle of the ground. He's just got over the top of Big Alex, who's a big lumbering character. He's run him into the ground.
So again, the big men go at it. Steins takes it. Stevens the tackler. The ball spills for Dyson. He's beaten for it by Scholl. Scholl's high kick to half forward. Hopgood gets rid of Nichols. Through goes Hilton. Gathers the ball and then kicks it wide. Out towards half-back. Left. And Tingay is marked. Stevens just a little late on the scene.
27th possession coming up for Tingay. Kicked the first quarter goal. Started well, it's kept going. Short. Glenn Lovett. Under pressure. Now Tingay. Kept the handball low as a good option. Viney smothered. So Melbourne didn't do particularly well there. Stephen
Just a
Phoebe, I should say.
casual.
14-10, 10-9. North Melbourne need 5 goals to win, you would say. McAdam floats one. It'll be a tough one to mark. Carey went to ground. Nichols at 50. Nichols goes for goal. Longmire gets back. Well done, White. Very well done, White.
Geez, an athletic, effervescent.
Isn't it great that he has resurrected his career, White? He looked down and out, didn't he, for 3 or 4 years?
Gone, completely finished. He's having probably his best season of his career.
Well, he was great in, 87, 88 in that period, and he looks like he's going equally as well. Glenn Lovett, no free kick. Hilton. Clarkson. Well, North have got to make it happen soon, Robbo. There's 12.5 minutes to go, and they're 25 points behind.
Well, Melbourne have got... both sides got a lot at stake, but Melbourne, if they drop this game, well, I don't think they'd have a chance of making the finals. So with a 25-point advantage and 12.5 minutes left, you'd reckon that they could hang on. Glenn Lovett's kick goes to the wing, gathered by Nichols, was pretty good. Little kick in for big Alex Oschenko. Hand pass Clarkson, may get his second goal of the last quarter to the line. It's helped through by White and Longmire for a rush behind to North Melbourne.
Well, you talk about big Friday night games. In the last round of the year, it's Collingwood versus North Melbourne, perhaps for a spot in the 8.
Cow for...
So you're going back a few years when you mentioned the 5, Gerard.
Cow's kick, brilliantly marked by Tingay, very important. Away goes Hopgood from centre half back. He kicks it wide, very, very wide. Steins does well. Gets it for Malloy. Malloy and Scholl. Ball spills for a throw-in.
Something to look forward to. I reckon there'd be 90,000 here if that was the scenario.
Steins, a tireless worker. Malloy and Clarkson. Dumped off the ball was Clarkson, but it's taken by Glenn Lovett. Starting to run into it beautifully is Lovett. Schwarz!
Been one of the battles of the night, hasn't it?
My word. Terrific performance there to take the mark. Gets it into centre half forward. Brett Lovett marks. Gets it to Dyson. He'll nearly kick this, Dyson. Hooks it. And kicks it behind. 2 behinds to Kevin Dyson. Looked as though he was restricted earlier.
Both of those shots at goal that we've seen from Dyson tonight, you would have put him down for. Usually a very accurate kick on the run.
Smith to Crocker. The North kicked 5 goals in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third. They need 5 now to win it. Blakey has had a quiet one to centre wing. Cow stretched. Carey, Tingay, Allison's gave McAdam the run of it. Poor kick. White should take it easily. Gee, that was poor footy by McAdam. White at half back. Big Jimmy running for him. Gets it on the second grab. It's been good, Steins. Hilton needed a reflex handball. Worked it to Lovell. Chopped off. Goes at it again. He's kicked 5 goals, Lovell. And that one out of bounds on the full. At half forward. But Melbourne looking home at 14-11 to 10-10. Where can North conjure up 5 goals from? Stevens working hard. Tingay put him to ground. Fairley's handball. Good take by Longmire, who's been disappointing. In the centre. Well played by Brett Lovett. Blakey's handball not good. Obst had a go. Clarkson went to ground. Glenn Lovett put it on him. Melbourne hold it up. Umpire comes in and wants it. Glenn Lovett 12-9. Best and fairest at the club 2 years ago.
He was terrific there.
He's only played 7 games going into tonight in this season. Tingay's quick one.
Couldn't quite clear the congestion. Kick forward by Hilton. Vacant half forward area. Ball spills to Lyon, but beaten for it by Fairley. Kicks to a vacant wing area on the members' side. Look at the pace of Cowell. Couldn't quite take the football with him. Gathered by Stevens. Slips the Cowell tackle and then kicks it in towards half forward. Oschenko is marked. He gets it to King. King goes long towards full forward. Nearly by Martin. Hopgood. Away goes Stephen Phoebe, who's been resolute in defence. The high flyer was Schwarz. The free kick is with North Melbourne. The umpire went one way, but it's going back to North Melbourne. David Schwarz a little bemused by that decision, but it's Longmire's ball.
Longmire has been shifted to centre-half back, and Michael Martin's up at full forward.
Garry towards Ramiro. Still Ramiro. Threw it away. Snap for goal. Bouncing ball, goal. Nichols. They needed it. She looked to throw. 11-10 to 14-11. Nichols gets his second. Well, for the second time in the last quarter, North infringing in the centre square. It's 14-11 to 11-10. North back within 19 points. Steins drives at the half forward. Fairley did a good job to get back and spoil Viney and out of play. So Nichols getting his second, giving North still a hope. There is time. You just don't think they're good enough the way they're playing. In the pocket, Melbourne attacking.
About 35 metres around from the Demons' goal. Longmire and Schwarz to do the ruck work. Ball goes to the back. Craig Scholl gets his right foot to it, but there's no one home for North Melbourne. Big Jimmy goes towards full forward. Pike does well, does very well. Then could have been deemed as throwing. Ross Smith to Laidley. A lovely hand pass, puts Blakey into the middle of the action. His kick goes out towards the wing. Punched away from Garry by Neitz, and he runs away with the football. Garry couldn't quite grasp him. He's kicked towards full forward, nearly marked by Fairley. Crocker's in trouble. Garry Lyon knocked away by Laidley, gathered by Obst, and Obst, as cool as you like, kicks the goal.
Shut the gate now, Lovett.
In a crisis, Andrew Obst, 21st possession, kicks Melbourne's 15th goal.
Yeah, this was a pretty good performance by Neitz, and I thought Pike did pretty well. May well have been a throw. And there we are. Obst on the fly, around the corner. He knew he was pretty clear.
(15-11 to 11-10). Comes from a great sporting family in South Australia, Obst. Peter and Trevor, brothers at Port Adelaide. Ashenko coming off. German back on. King slapped it forward. Brett Lovett's been good. Phoebe. German has just come off the interchange. Runs into the right spot at the right time. Goes to centre half forward. Carey.
So look at that, 3 players around Carey, all Melbourne players.
Brett Lovett. Capuano put the tackle on. Back with Lovett. Neitz, well played to Phoebe. Good kick to Glenn Lovett. Phoebe with 21 possessions. Glenn Lovett with 22. As he kicks the ball to half forward. Schwarz goes high. Tingay read it beautifully. Lyon the target. Good mark. Go on, Gerard, say it. Why hasn't Ross Smith been moved?
Well, I think we realise that. They want to keep him in the goal square, but too talented overhead, Garry Lyon for Ross Smith.
Going for goal number 4. It's close. 3 goals for the Lion, but it won't matter much now. They're home. 15-12 to 11-10. The D's will win it.
But considering the injuries to North Melbourne, I think they've done a reasonably good job. If you knew that both Longmire and Carey were going to be beaten so comprehensively, you would have thought North Melbourne would be a long way further back than they are at the moment.
Nice mark taken there by Capuano. Gets the hand pass away to Clarkson. Clarkson from an awkward position. A high flyer there was German, was it?
Yep.
And now in trouble, Schwarz. And a clash there. Pike was good. In goes Malloy. And the umpire will be forced to bounce right half forward as a few players get up from the MCG turf a little gingerly. Pike. Up goes Longmire. Taken by Brett Lovett. The kick smothered off the boot. Close to the line, it's taken over by Crocker. So 50 metres from the Melbourne goal, a boundary throw-in will take place. 6 minutes left. Schwarz and Longmire. Big punch there by Blakey. Goes to Dyson. Couldn't quite control it. Tried to tap it back for Glenn Lovett. Unsuccessful, and it goes over again for a throw-in.
About 75 metres from Melbourne's goal. 102 to 76. Schwarz in the front spot. Off the ground by Stevens. Effective. Clarkson, good mark. Kicked a goal in the last quarter that put North within 7 points. That seems an eternity away now. Garry has been completely shut out. Nichols goes for goal. Good kick by Nichols. He's got it. He's got 3. 2 in the last quarter. 12 goals, 10 to 15-12.
And finally, McMartin is a full forward that's prepared to lead. And because he led, there was an open goal square for Nichols to kick into, which allowed it to roll through. Now, the best option, I think, for Garry Lyon is Craig Scholl. He's done pretty well on the wing in the second half.
So it's 20 points, the margin. The ball with Scholl, gets his kick away just before the Dyson tackle. Awkward bounce. Stevens into the path of Nichols was good. Nichols goes for goal. No one home. Sean White takes a fairly straightforward mark in the finish and settles the Demons down. Short kick has been marked by Viney. Viney, his 20th kick coming up. Kicks down towards half-back. Glenn Lovett marks. And maybe the sting has gone out of the Kangaroo. Under 5 minutes left, and they need to make up a 20-point margin. Glenn Lovett's kick is high. Down towards the wing. Punched away by Longmire. Rebounds. Taken by German. Ramiro run down by Cowell. It spills for Clarkson. Clarkson's kick. In towards half-forward. Stephen Phoebe again. Celebrate your birthday. David Neitz has got the football at full-back. A very ordinary kick, but it lands in the path of Tingay. Brilliant ball handling, again by Obst, and then by Tingay. Tingay's kick to half-forward, but it falls in short and Laidley is marked 50 metres from the Melbourne goal.
He goes short to Blakey at half-back. Sweeps out a handball to Scholl. Scholl from centre wing. Probing kick, Garry outnumbered. Brings it to ground. Melbourne with numbers. Glenn Lovett played it beautifully to Neitz, to Viney. Garry picking himself up. And Obst, this Melbourne midfield has just slaughtered North Melbourne, haven't they? When you look at Dyson and Viney and Glenn Lovett and Obst. Garry in some strife there. Here's Glenn Lovett again. At centre wing.
Garry must get sick and tired of having 5 blokes jump on him, I'd reckon.
High ball by Glenn Lovett. Not much penetration. Schwarz in the front spot. Schwarz, well tackled by Tingay. Another midfielder who's been quite brilliant. Gives it to Cowell. It was a good handball. Terrific kick to Brett Lovett. Dyson on the run.
Still give it to him.
There he does. Pretty good kick normally, Dyson. He's missed 2 tonight that Snooper Healy reckons he would normally get. This from 45, on a 45 degree. A symmetrical shot. Gerard has declared it. It'll be 6. Well, I shouldn't have given you away, Snoop.
I didn't declare him.
Put the 2 fingers up, son.
Oh, dear.
That's all right. He allowed one mistake.
They're on the one hand.
15-13 to 12-10.
Lucky there was no candid camera around. Ross Smith to kick it in for North Melbourne. Comes to the members' side. High flyers, but a big punch. Goes back towards half-back. Clarkson in trouble. You're in all sorts of strife. Run down by Pike. No free kick. Ball spills for German. And from 50 metres from the Melbourne goal, Peter German, 2 bounces. Can probably get another one in. Then kick towards half forward. Martin, but nearly a mark to Neitz. Diving on it, Sean White, and he will hold it up for Melbourne. 50 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Centre half forward for North Melbourne. 2 minutes left. Melbourne lead 15-13 to 12-10. Taken by Steins. Contest there by Capuano. But the umpire to bounce once again.
Well, it certainly goes against my grain to vote for full backs, but Sean White's had quite an outstanding game tonight.
Melbourne have had 8 players with 20 possessions or more. North have had 3 in that category. Schwarz, high ball, about 30 metres away. Garry in a wrestle, on the ground. Ramiro, little handball. Chance for Nichols for a 4th. Well played by White. Well, give him a vote now, Jared.
That was sensational.
Wasn't that terrific?
This is called a second effort. White was involved just off screen there. Then a huge lunge just to destroy any chance that Nichols had at his 4th goal.
Demons go short. White again. Stephen Phoebe. ...21 kicks to Phoebe. 5 goals to Lovell. Gee, they've had a lot of football, haven't they? A lot of good players. Contributors. They're back in the hunt, the D's. Tingay's been outstanding. 36 touches, Tingay. Ramiro off, kicked 3 goals. Punched away by Longmire.
Not a bad move just to get Longmire to centre half back. Perhaps it came a little bit late, but at least in this last quarter he's got near the football a couple of times, and maybe just his confidence will be a little bit higher for the experience.
30 seconds remaining. Stevens unable to. Dyson. Stevens just gets a little one. Schwarz trying to go off the ground. It was his only option. Glenn Lovett's tackle terrific on King. Hilton. Good mark by Longmire. German. Martin and White. McAdam. Oh, Sean White, take a bow. Misses that though. Glenn Lovett. Terrific win for Melbourne. It's all yours, Dibba.
Hey, macho, Bruce, you got a breath there, what?
Oh, mate, we want to come out and win with a win. It's great, fantastic. The boys played well.
You're back in the hunt now.
Well, you just got to keep trying. You can't get in. That's what we learned last week. We go in. But tonight we had to do it all the way.
It was a good team effort throughout the whole ground.
I mean, you could see the boys were really up. Everybody was there. Their first, second tackles is what got us there, really.
And next week you play Footscray?
Great game. Look forward to it. Love the Western Oval.
Okay, well done.
Thanks, Dibba.
Yeah, Sean.
Sean White loving the Western Oval. And Melbourne should be in the 8 after the weekend. Not tonight they won't be, but after the weekend they should be, with the mix-up of matches that are coming up. It was a great win. They really did dominate the match. Lovell kicked 5 and Lyon kicked 3. Garry out of sorts tonight, really struggling. And unfortunately for North, it's a deja vu from last year where they were so brilliant early and then struggled on their way to the finals. Well, this year they may not even make it. Some hard thinking to do for Dennis Pagan and the hierarchy of North Melbourne, because they've only won 3 out of their last 9, and that is not the form you want to be taking into September. Fitzroy and Collingwood to come for North. Footscray and Sydney to come from Melbourne. Tonight, 32,951 saw the D's win by 15-13 to 12-11. And they really did it in the midfield, didn't they? 6 or 7 players who between them probably had over 100 touches tonight.
Yeah, well, I think that Melbourne are that sort of team. They're a very even performers with players like Dyson, Stephen Phoebe, Brett Lovett, Glenn Lovett, Andy Lovell, who kicked 5 goals. I mean, it's going to be difficult to pick their best player. Would you say maybe Tingay stood out?
Well, I thought he did a great job in the first half. I thought he faded in the third quarter when Scholl got on top of him, but he certainly finished well in the last with 36 possessions. But I think a few of their unsung heroes like Cal has contributed quite well. Pike continued to be nuisance value, and he's a tough player to match up on because he can take a big mark, but he's also pretty handy on the ground. I thought Steins also did quite well, and along with Irving, who was a bit of a bonus for them.
Actually, there's one statistic that we have forgotten to mention, the fact that last week they only had 5 days to recover from playing in the heat, a tough game against Brisbane, to come up against Collingwood, which had had a very good rest, and this week they did have that extra day back in Melbourne in conditions that probably suited them a little bit better than the heat in Brisbane.
Well, great scenes inside the rooms and outside as Melbourne win at the MCG, 15-13 to 12-11. Melbourne by 20 points in the end, 15 goals, 13 to 12-11. We take a look at the ladder, and the Kangaroos have made the big slide tonight from 3rd down to 8th. Melbourne out of the 8 still, but should go back in after the weekend. So a significant result here tonight as we look at the matches coming forward in round 22. They're calling it Super Sunday, but before then tomorrow, what a super day with Collingwood and Geelong at the MCG. Fitzroy to play Richmond, a danger game for Richmond. St Kilda and Sydney in a battle for the wooden spoon. And then on Sunday, 3 big matches. Brisbane out of it, but Footscray still amongst it. Carlton, West Coast, the 2 top teams. Hawthorn and Essendon, the Bombers, defending champions. One last hope, the bye for Adelaide. So over 32,000 came to the MCG tonight, and in the end they saw Melbourne comfortable winners over North Melbourne.
This